Thank you for setting up this meeting today. I wish I could be here live. This video is intended to empower and support teachers and parents with useful tools that will not tax budgets. I've faced frustration, isolation, helplessness of not knowing how to truly support my child. That struggle pushed me into problem-solving mode, diving deep into research that has helped my son, countless other kids with practical ways to improve spec ed needs. From the start of school, my son struggled with major anxiety. Calls came frequently about emotional outbursts, hitting or yelling. By grade 3, it escalated, and measures were only taken to help him when he was in the red. I felt it was best for everyone to pull him out. After a private psycho-ed eval, we found that my son is highly gifted and struggles with dysgraphia, which is a learning disability of written expression. Teaching my son at home, I realized his academic struggles went even deeper. He'd been masking his struggles for years, telling teachers that he would not do the work because it was too easy, when in fact he couldn't get answers on paper. His stress load when doing work went through the roof. I'm trained as a sleep, stress, and trauma-informed coach, skills that I successfully use with first responders in order to stay calm under pressure. And with all of my knowledge and experience, I struggled to make headway with my son's stress reactions until I uncovered a critical piece that was affecting his stress load, affecting both his emotions, his learning struggles, and that was executive functioning. Executive functioning is our brain's CEO. It manages our thoughts, our actions, regulates our emotions. It helps with focus and attention, planning, memory, time management, organization, self-control, a lot of things that kids with learning disabilities struggle with. When kids struggle with executive functioning, it affects everything from academic skills like reading and writing to managing emotions. I couldn't find anyone in Toronto with the executive functioning coaching training that my son required, so I studied it. I studied under Tara Sumpner, who is an SLP, a speech and language pathologist. 20 years ago, she figured out that executive functioning often underlies many speech, language, and academic struggles, including dysgraphia, dyslexia, and I was dubious. Had I not seen firsthand by focusing on my son's executive functioning skills the way I was learning, one day he actually typed a 2-chapter story on his own with amazing grammar and punctuation that he wasn't supposed to be able to do with his learning disability. Without any prompting or practicing on writing skills, all we focused on were the executive functioning skills. Tara Sumpner breaks down the executive functioning skills into root, stem, and flower. Flower are the skills that we see. Struggling to correct their work, to hand it in on time, to pace themselves properly with their work, when they're overanalyzing things, forgetting things, not being able to hand in homework, not being able to remember routines in the class. Verbal and nonverbal working memory are when they're struggling with phonics sounds, struggling to remember what letters look like, when they're struggling to remember sentences, paragraphs, stories. Inhibitions, touching things, hitting, yelling, blurting out things in class. These are all executive functioning skills. By equipping teachers and parents with knowledge of executive functioning in order to be able to create supportive environments that empower students and teachers, they can navigate school and life with confidence. So how can we bring executive functioning education into our schools? I've dreamed about this. Oh my gosh, bringing executive functioning to school. And so is Tara Sumpner. It's actually what she's working on. She is booked until 2026 for going into schools and helping teach teachers. But Tara Sumpner has a course that is only $47 a month. She is phenomenal, and it is economical to be bringing it into a couple of teachers in a school, and each year bringing it into more and more teachers. And then I have a podcast called Kids with Big Emotions, where I dive into a lot of this, bringing in the executive functioning skills for the parents and the teachers. I have tons of other resources. I'm just out of time. I can support you. Just reach out as much as I can help other parents, other teachers be able to help kids like mine and maybe be able to get my child back in school would be phenomenal.